And just real quick, because I wanted to go over this, Drake had just posted this cryptic message, a very cryptic message. And it says here, I grew up non confrontational and always treated this game as a sport where my pen won gold. But these days, the podium has been hard for all of us to ignore. I understand that the next chapter may leave you feeling uneasy, but I hope you see my honesty as clarity, not charity, that answers some questions, especially about the unanswered text you've been sending me. Now, I'm not sure if this is him writing this for himself or if he's like captioning from something else, but he's writing this to reflect on himself. As far as the next chapter, I believe he might just be talking about this album that he said he was going to drop in the summer. It was in Give Me a Hug where he had said something about the summer. He has something coming up. He said it's about to be a lit summer. This was a lyric that he had said in Give Me a Hug. Give Me a Hug was a song that came out in Triple S for You. This is where Drake is basically had first announced that he was going to release another album besides Triple S for You. And it looks like he might be releasing it in the summer, which is not too far from now. The summer does start late May, early June, which isn't that far away from now. Now, I don't know if he will release it in May or June. It could possibly be July, but he said this summer. So we'll see what he's talking about when the summer comes around. But saying that this next chapter is going to leave us feeling uneasy, but I hope you see my honesty as clarity and not charity. I wonder what he really does mean by that. Is he saying that he's going to have the viewers, the listeners feel uneasy with the honesty that he's going to give us? And if so, what things is he going to be honest about? Is he talking about the lawsuit? Is he talking about the beef? And obviously, he's saying he's going to be honest with the people, with the listeners, as a form of clarity for himself and not charity. So at this point, Drake is looking for some type of clarity and is willing to make people feel uneasy about it. But what questions are you going to answer? And how truthful will you answer those questions? What are you really going to answer and what are you talking about? I could probably take a guess and say that he's talking about his album that he got coming up. That would be the next chapter. But I'm not sure how much honesty we will actually hear from Drake. A lot of things that Drake does is very indirect. A lot of things that he does, occasionally the things that he does is cap. But whatever it is, he felt compelled enough to tell the people that whatever he's going to share with everyone, it's going to make them feel uneasy. I really wonder what he's hinting towards and what's going to make everybody feel uncomfortable. What can Drake say to make us feel uncomfortable? Is it the truth? They say the truth makes you feel uncomfortable. But like I said, I just don't know how honest Drake will be whenever he decides to say what he thinks is true. I want to know what type of questions he's referring to. I want to know if he's going to talk about the beef more, if he's going to give a real perspective of it and how things have been for him afterwards, or if he's just going to cap and say something else or reference something else or talk about something else. Other than that, will he talk about the lawsuit? Will he talk about his relationship with UMG and the industry? Or would it be how he feels about the industry and the people that he's acquainted himself with over time, such as Future, Rick Ross, ASAP Rocky, Rihanna? Like, will he talk about the relationships with the people that he's made in the past? I know, if anything, whatever it has to do, it has something to do with his rap career. Because at the very top, he says, I grew up non confrontational and always treated the game as a sport. So you're talking about the rap game and your career and how you were non confrontational in the beginning, and then saying where my pen won gold, talking about the accolades you achieved over time being a rapper. I could only assume that all of this is about him answering questions about his career. And right here in the middle, he somewhat admits that the podium has been hard for all of us to ignore. And the only thing that I could think of when he says podium is his platform, his career, and the audience that watches his platform, the audience that supports his career. And him here openly admitting that all the things that have been going on, it's starting to be difficult for him to just ignore it. And you could kind of see that happening when you see him online. Like, there was a time when Little Yachty had openly said that Drake wasn't worried about the beef. And we all know eventually later on, Drake decided to sue in regards to the beef. So obviously that was a lie. So I wonder how truthful Drake is going to be. All of this stuff that's been going on is hard for him to ignore. And I think it's becoming a thing where it's difficult for him to act like none of it is happening, because you go and you see him on WWE, you see him in all these places, you see him everywhere, right? You see him publicly, and for the most part, he acts like the beef doesn't exist to him. He acts like none of it is going on. But when you take a look at it, it's the only thing that's been circulating, revolving around his name. So I think that's the thing that he's trying to point out, that as far as his platform goes, it's becoming hard to just ignore. And now he's going to have to address it. And I'm assuming he's going to do it on this new album. I don't know how far the truth is going to be when Drake decides to tell the truth. I don't know how honest he's going to be or if it's going to be cap. But I think he might be referring to the album that he has coming in the summer. And we'll find out exactly what it is that Drake says moving forward. But y'all tell me how you feel about this and get back to me, man. I just saw this right now. A few minutes ago, he just posted it. So y'all tell me what you think, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace. Keep it legend.